want to hang out. I want to get drunk. I want to do a podcast. And we're doing it. Been a real, supporter of the podcast ever since I started. Every week shouts it out. Same with Finch. Same with Kevin Finch. That episode is upcoming. And so I'm going to make my way over there and record a podcast as well as eat at Geranium and have a good time over there, and visit all the other fucking restaurants. I mean, god damn it, man. I got fucking Kenneth Fung, and I mean, we shouted him out a lot. Shout out to him because he's a big supporter of the show, but also one of Kevin Finch's mentors that he talks about. 3 stars from the time he wakes up. This guy, a true professional. And so happy that I can make a show that is interesting to those types of people. True intellectuals. But the thing about a chef is, it's not just like a mental intellectual. Let's see. It's dexterity with your intellectuality. All right? With your hands, B. That might not be good. I might have to take that one back. But it's all about experimenting. So now that I'm doing this podcast thing, I feel like the more that I talk, the more that I truly think about what I'm saying, and also not think about what I'm saying at the same time. If you're a chef, you understand what I'm saying. Is really the best way of learning. Some of the biggest lessons I've learned in my life have been embarrassing moments in a kitchen. And so now I try to wear my embarrassments on my face, on my arms, everything. Because I don't want anybody to have anything on me, and I don't know if that's an insecure way of doing things. Maybe it is, maybe I could be wrong, but as I navigate life and as I navigate my mind and try to establish my core values still, right? Because you have some, but you're always like sort of chipping away at your testament through your eyes and your lens and your thinking and your creativity, not led by other things, So I think with that, I'll leave you. Chef Nico, again, shout out to you for reaching out and, loving the podcast, being a family man, being a true mentor to young cooks and young chefs. And I'm super excited for you, super excited to come eat at Octavia and see what you got going on. And also, excited to possibly do a podcast with Chef Melissa Perillo. If you're listening, hit me up, son. suciotalk@gmail.com. Anybody can hit me up. I also want to take this time to say that I listened back to the Joey Sasto interview and I heard a little bit of audio issue, and I don't take kindly to that kind of thing. So I'm going to do my due diligence, go back to the drawing board, and sort of try and see if I can tweak the audio to keep it from sounding bad at times. I truly apologize to Joe, and I never want anybody that's on Suciotalk to feel bad or feel embarrassed by the things that they have said or thought. It's not meant to be negative. It's meant to be positive, guys. Through the lens of a couple of people. We're only 2 guys. or two, one, a man and a woman. And that's another thing I'm working on too. Like I want to have more of a female presence here on Suciotalk, and not because of what's going on in the world, just because fucking it's the right thing to do. I'm tired of this narrative. It's like where we have to be inclusive because we think that other people are watching, and it's because we care about what other people think about us. I'm not down with that. I want to do the right thing because it's the right fucking thing to do. Not motivated by others' opinions of me. Right? Just because it's in my soul as a person on this earth to try to bring good. That's why I do it. And honestly, one of the reasons, if you listen to my podcast, that I go and work at the restaurant on Meadowood. It was either Atelier Crane or the restaurant on Meadowood. And it was because I wanted to learn from a woman. Because they think differently than us. They have different perspective, right? And to be able to, as a man, put yourself in their shoes and sort of see things in their light, why wouldn't you want that? That's a power, dog. You know what I mean? So then I was lucky enough to work with Chef Kat to truly show me, the detail. She fucking fine-tuned me. I was a diamond in the rough. She found me and kept shining me. Remember, I had a girlfriend who had a dad. I had a girlfriend who had a dad. What a fucking idiot. Okay. Right. So, her dad he had this saying, and he said that a woman is a diamond, and you need to keep shining that diamond. And shining and shining and shining that diamond. So I always took that advice. He wasn't my dad. And I never saw that woman again. But shout out to her. I hope she's doing well. Haven't seen her since college. Cool girl. Fit. Hot. That was me in college, though. But now I'm rambling. You see, this is what's bad about me driving, because this is me driving without recording. Right? I'm just in the car talking to myself. So I'm gonna put an end to this introduction here before it gets weird, right? And I hope you guys have a good week. It's been an honor and a pleasure doing this show. Next week is, I don't have my notes in front of me, so I believe it's Chef Mei Lin. Chef Mei Lin opened a beautiful fried chicken sandwich shop in LA called Daybird. Did the podcast. Super cool. I told you that when I ate at Cato, I saw her and we had tea at the end of my dinner, which is very special. She's a hard-working chef who, no fucking tolerance, tough, but fair, And it was nice to have her on the podcast. It was nice to just have her, her side of things and her journey, growing up in a Chinese restaurant that her family owned. It's a pretty impressive story. It's a winning Top Chef. So shout out to her. This week's focus, though, is Nico. And Chef Nico, I'm going to come out to see you soon. Like I said, stop rambling now. Enjoy the episode. Have a good week. Suciotalk. Remember, if you fail, get back up.
Looking forward to it.
All right, here we go. Suciotalk, episode 22, Chef.
Oh, sweet.
Hell, 22. Only
22.
What is it? 28 more to go, 38 more to go, whatever the hell that math is, to get to 52. It's the first thing you told me when I got out of the car.
Yeah, I've been paying attention. I've been looking at what episode you're on and how many more you got to go.
So, Chef, this is Chef Nico Peña. All right, chef over here at Octavia right now, right?
Yep.
But you've been around San Francisco for quite a while now.
Yeah, about 10 years. I moved here in 2011.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is what you're doing now, and on the show, we're going to go all the way back to when you were a niño.
Little niñito.
All right. Before that, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no problem. What are we drinking on over here?
Some white wine from Etna, Mount Etna. From Verjus, so it's got to be good.
There you go.
We'll get back to where that one is.
Once we hit like 3 glasses, we'll be more fluid about where the wine is from. So, Chef, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Moreno Valley and Riverside.
Okay.
Like Inland Empire, Southern California.
Heard that. Born, raised?
I was born in Whittier, but born and raised in Riverside and Moreno Valley.
Heard that. Hell yeah. What did your parents do?
My mom is a probation officer. My dad was a sheriff's deputy.
A straight PO.
Yeah.
So she knew all the tricks.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My mom and then my dad was a sheriff deputy, so I was no fucking around at home, And luckily I had an older brother who got into a lot of trouble that gave me good examples not to do.
Heard that. Took away all the stuff from
him. Not a lot of pressure on me because he was spending a lot of time getting in trouble, so I could fly under the radar a little bit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what were you into as a kid?
So as a kid, I spent a lot of time playing sports. My mom always wanted us to be super busy. Like I said, she was a probation officer, and she was at least for our schooling and stuff like that, we went to private school my whole life.
Okay.
So it's she just felt like it was a better situation for us, and it was great. You're in the smaller classes and things like that, and you grow up with I didn't have an experience where it's people go to elementary school and then middle school. My school was all the way up until kindergarten to 8th grade.
Well, that's good camaraderie then with your classmates.
Yeah. So I spent 9 years with most of the same people, and then even after that, going to high school and went to private school, and some people from my elementary school or whatever went with me to high school. But then, so you see these people and you know them for 16 years of your life. It's kind of crazy, but. But growing up, I spent a lot of time playing sports, all throughout elementary school. I was playing soccer, year round. And then when it came to high school, I was playing football. And that was super huge, especially there's little things that I think that happen throughout your life that affect your cooking career. I think career in general, but at least for me, it's affected a lot of what I do every day and why I chose to do this. And football was a really big thing. My first coach, freshman year was this crazy, he was also the wrestling coach too.
Yeah.
So it's super intense.
It's that's the guy who rides his bike to school back and forth 40 miles before anybody even starts their day.
Yeah. So he was a super intense dude, from Wisconsin, and he was 2-time state champion for wrestling.
Okay.
And we're just freshmen. I didn't really I hadn't never trained that hard. I'd never been a contact sport.
So
and
he treated you like an adult.
Oh yeah,
he trained like a hardcore athlete.
Oh yeah, okay. And we would be conditioning, and it's come on, mind over matter. I don't mind and you don't matter, and it's oh shit. I'm about to throw up.
That. I don't mind and you don't matter.
Yeah, so a lot of that he was super intense, and it was really cool being with him because there was a lot of things that you learned in just the work ethic and just training really hard, and I felt really great being able to play football, and then also him being you got to wrestle too.
Yeah,
you should wrestle, and I did it my freshman year, and then once he left after that, so then I just focused on football.
Yeah,
I spent, and especially now football itself is just such a business where you're training year round, so freshman year after wrestling, I was in acceleration camps and strength training camps, and you do you play other schools and meet other people, and you work on the competition.
Got
you. For me, that's a lot of what high school was.
Mm-hmm.
I had it was interesting being in a small high school, just because, like, for me, like I said, like, you're with the same people, you're with them all the time, and you're doing all the same things, and it was a really good experience.